Welcome to the deep dive. Looks like someone's really curious about Changpeng Zhao. You sent us a whole stack of articles, research, even some personal notes.
Yeah, it's a smart move. You can't really understand Binance without understanding CZ, right? And his story kind of reflects the whole crypto roller coaster ride.
So where do we even begin with someone like CZ? I mean, he's gone from flipping burgers to, well, becoming a crypto king.
Right. Let's rewind a bit. I mean, the guy's born in China, then moves to Canada at 12, working multiple jobs as a teenager, pumping gas, cashier, all that, but still aces his studies.
That's serious hustle. I guess you could say that prepped him for the crypto world's pace.
Definitely. And those jobs, like the McDonald's gig, they teach you systems, efficiency, skills that translate surprisingly well when you're handling millions of transactions.
Interesting. And we can't forget the tech side. Computer science from McGill, working at Tokyo Stock Exchange, then developing high-frequency trading systems for Bloomberg.
Exactly. He wasn't just some Bitcoin fanboy. He had serious chops from the start. And that exposure to traditional finance, key. At the Tokyo Stock Exchange, he saw how a centralized exchange worked, its good and bad. Then at Bloomberg, he was diving deep into that world of algorithmic trading, that high-speed stuff.
So he was already thinking about how to build a better system.
You could say that. And then comes 2013, the classic tale, a poker game, an introduction to Bitcoin. But instead of just dabbling, CZ goes all in, like sold his house all in.
That's next level conviction, right?
Totally. It was a massive risk. And of course, Bitcoin crashes, taking a chunk of his investment with it.
Ouch, most people would have called it quits there.
Right. But not CZ. He saw past the volatility. He saw that blockchain, the tech behind Bitcoin, had huge potential to change everything. It wasn't just about making a quick buck.
So he kept going, worked on other crypto projects, even became CTO of OKCoin, right? Another big exchange.
Exactly. And at OKCoin, he's starting to really formulate this vision for a global, user-friendly crypto exchange. He sees how the existing platforms are kind of clunky, how they shut out everyday people, and that's where the Binance seed is planted.
Which brings us to 2017, the launch of Binance. Clever name, by the way, binary in finance. Very fitting.
And the growth. Unbelievable. Within a year, it's the biggest crypto exchange on the planet.
Okay, how did that happen so fast? I mean, was it pure luck or was there something more?
A bit of both, but mostly strategy. CZ understood that user experience was king. Binance was designed to be easy to use, even for beginners. They went after international markets aggressively, with tons of language support and trading pairs.
Right, and let's not forget the low fees. That was a huge draw.
For sure. But it went beyond that. CZ cultivated this culture of constant innovation. Binance Smart Chain comes out, enabling all these decentralized apps and smart contracts. Then they launched their own blockchain, the BNB chain, and boom, they even launched an NFT marketplace.
So they weren't just trading, they were building a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And they were moving fast, adapting to the constantly changing crypto landscape. He wasn't just riding the wave, he was actively shaping it.
But all that rapid growth, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, was it? We started hearing about these cracks in the Binance armor, all these controversies popping up.
Yeah, that's the double-edged sword. The bigger Binance got, the more they were under the microscope. Regulators started circling, asking questions about money laundering, those KYC rules.
And those allegations about Binance being used for some shady stuff, like transactions with sanctioned entities.
Right, and that was a big blow. It chipped away at that whole image CZ had built, the transparent financial system, all that. Suddenly people were pointing fingers saying, wait a minute, what's really going on here?
And CZ's response? He didn't exactly back down, did he? Remember that lawsuit he filed against Bloomberg? They called Binance a Ponzi scheme, and he went after them hard.
That lawsuit, it tells you a lot about CZ, That Ponzi scheme label, it's like the kiss of death in finance. It screams fraud and collapse. He saw it as a direct attack on everything Binance was trying to do, so he fought back with everything he had.
It was a huge statement. And then there was that whole public feud with the WazirX co-founder, right? Another exchange. Talk about drama.
Oh yeah, that was a mess. It was egos clashing, these two different visions for the future of crypto. And it showed that even inside the crypto world, there's a ton of competition, a lot of bad blood.
Of all the drama, nothing compares to the whole Binance FTX showdown. It was like a Wall Street thriller playing out in real time.
Absolutely. And it changed everything. FTX, with Sam Bankman-Fried at the helm, they were the new kids on the block, right?
Yeah.
Serious competition for Binance. The rivalry between CZ and SBF, it was almost palpable.
So walk me through it. It started with Binance dumping their FTT tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did that cause so much chaos?
Well, Binance held a ton of FTX's own token. When they announced they were selling, it was like pulling the rug out from under FTX.
And that's when things started to really fall apart for them.
Yeah, the FTT sell-off triggered a major liquidity crisis. Investors freaked out, worried about another Celsius or Voyager situation, a total implosion.
And out of nowhere, Binance says they're going to buy FTX. Was that a rescue mission, or was CZ just trying to crush his rival?
That's the million-dollar question. Some people saw it as a bailout, a friendly move, you know. Others thought CZ was just seizing an opportunity to take out the competition, become even more powerful.
But then the deal collapses almost instantly. What happened?
Binance backed out after looking at FTX's books. They said the financials were a mess and the regulatory risks were too high. So they pulled the plug.
And that was the final nail in the coffin for FTX.
Pretty much. They went bankrupt, leaving investors and customers high and dry. The whole thing sent shockwaves through the crypto world. People started questioning everything.
It was a huge hit to the industry's credibility, right? Everyone was calling for more regulation, more oversight.
Exactly. And for CZ, it cemented this image of him as a ruthless, almost Machiavellian figure. Did he plan the whole thing? Did he see an opening and exploit it? People are still debating that.
But one thing's clear. The FTX saga showed just how fragile the crypto market is and how much power these big players like CZ have.
No doubt. It was a turning point. The Wild West days of crypto were over, the regulators were coming, and CZ was about to face their full force.
Did those money laundering allegations, they weren't going away, were they?
Nope. In fact, they got even worse. Late 2023, the DOJ drops the hammer criminal charges against Binance and CZ personally.
Wow, that escalated quickly. We'd seen regulators go after crypto companies before, but this was different. This was targeting the CEO, the man in charge. What exactly were they accusing him of?
The big one was sanctions violations. They said Binance was knowingly processing transactions for individuals and groups on those U.S. sanctions lists, people tied to the Russian government, organizations like Hamas, and they also hit them with failing to stop money laundering, basically turning a blind eye to all the bad stuff happening on their platform.
Those are some serious accusations with the potential for a lot of jail time. What did CZ do?
At first, he denied everything, said he'd fight the charges all the way. But then things took a turn.
What happened? Did he change his strategy?
He did. Binance struck a deal with the DOJ, a deferred prosecution agreement, basically admitting they messed up in exchange for a lighter sentence.
So Binance paid a huge fine, but CZ got off scot-free.
Not exactly. As part of the deal, he had to step down as CEO, which was a big shift. And while he didn't go to jail right away, he couldn't travel freely, and the U.S. authorities were watching him closely.
Talk about a fall from grace. He went from crypto king to, well, practically under house arrest.
It showed that even in this decentralized world of crypto, you can't hide from the law forever. And for CZ, the legal troubles weren't over yet. Remember that whole FTX bankruptcy thing?
Right, what happened there?
The people handling the FTX bankruptcy, they filed a massive lawsuit against Binance and CZ, demanding billions in damages.
So while CZ was dealing with the DOJ charges, his old rival was coming back to haunt him.
Exactly. It was a complete mess with legal threats coming from all sides. And it really put CZ in a tough spot, trying to keep Binance afloat while fighting these battles in court.
So CZ is juggling all this, right? The legal stuff, the public scrutiny, and now this massive lawsuit from FTX. How does he even handle all that pressure?
It was a crazy time for him, for sure. Don't forget, he's also trying to keep Binance running smoothly, keep those users happy.
Yeah, it's easy to forget there's a real person behind all those headlines and billions of dollars. Did we see any cracks in the armor, any signs that it was getting to him?
Oh, yeah, you could see it sometimes. In some of his public statements, his tweets, you could sense the exhaustion, the frustration with all the negativity.
But he never really backed down, did he? Even facing potential prison time, he was still on Twitter, arguing with critics, defending Binance, even throwing some shade back.
That's classic CZ, right? He's a fighter. He doesn't give up easily. Thrives on a challenge, I guess you could say.
So what ended up happening with the legal stuff? We know he didn't go to jail here, but what about those travel restrictions and that FTX lawsuit?
Well, the travel ban's gone now, so he can move around freely, do business internationally again. As for the FTX lawsuit, that's still dragging on, although there are rumors they might settle out of court.
That would be huge, wouldn't it? Wipe the slate clean and let CZ and Binance move on.
Definitely. It would clear the air and let CZ focus on what he says he really cares about, building this new financial future with blockchain and crypto.
Speaking of the future, what's CZ up to these days? Is he still running Binance day to day?
Not as much. He's still involved in the big decisions, and he's still the face of Binance. But there's a new management team handling the daily grind.
So what's he spending his time on?
Lately, he's been talking a lot about education and giving back, especially through that Beagle Academy he started, that online education platform. He says it's all about helping those who haven't had the same opportunities, giving them the skills to thrive in the digital world.
That's an interesting shift, isn't it? From building a crypto empire to focusing on education. Some might see it as genuine, others might think it's just a PR play to polish his image.
It's probably a bit of both, honestly. But the bottom line is, CZ has the money and the influence to make a real difference in education, and he seems serious about doing it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. As we wrap up this deep dive into the life of Changpeng Zhao, what's the big takeaway? Is he a brilliant entrepreneur, a ruthless shark, or something in between?
I'd say a little bit of everything, right? CZ's story is like the crypto world itself. Exciting, unpredictable, full of contradictions. He's got the potential to do amazing things, but he's also made some questionable choices along the way.
He's a reminder that this whole future of finance thing, it's going to be shaped by people like him. Brilliant but flawed, ambitious but sometimes controversial.
Exactly. And it's on us, the users, the investors, to navigate this new world carefully, to look at the potential and the risks, and to hold these powerful players accountable.
Well said. CZ's story isn't over yet. He's still a major figure in crypto, and his actions are going to continue to make waves. It'll be interesting to see what he does next.
Oh yeah, we'll be watching. The crypto world never disappoints when it comes to drama.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.